Hello everyone. So I promised myself that I would do this, and so I am. I am doing this right now. So I'm going to combine some nice hot pink with, it's finally dried enough, and I realized I was getting sucked into the, whatever you want to call it, the so blue universe, or at least we used to be blue, Twitter, blue sky, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and I realized, you know what, I better stop what I'm doing and do this. So I have to admit, I am kind of going against my own advice in the last video, and I'm pushing through and doing this stuff anyway. But when illness makes you so depressed that you're willing to, well, as Robin Williams put it at one point, say check please. You gotta do something for your emotions to try to make yourself feel happier. That's odd. I took this and I mixed neon. I mixed this neon with this paint, and yet it's coming out this dark. Oh, that's so strange. I was hoping that this was going to have a full mix of, basically all three colors, because I mixed this color and I mixed the dark purple together, and then I mixed this hot pink in it too. And now it's just pretty much looking like this, what it looks like in the middle. Well, that's massively disappointing and annoying all at once. I think I messed up. I think I should have brought the pink down. So I think I'll do that. Yeah, and I'm gonna, this one, let me see. I'm gonna try to redefine that, because I didn't draw in a line for this, and I think I should have. I think that these are two separate petals back here. In my opinion. I'm going to add some more, I'm going to add some more hot pink right here at the moment, because it needs it. And that's a lot of paint. But I'm also going to kind of, can I turn it around? Yes, I can, as long as I keep it nice and close to myself. I am going to go ahead, for better or for worse. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. That is stunning. That is amazing. That's the wonderful translucency of watercolors. I didn't expect this hot pink to change so much. I've never had that experience before. For the hot pink or any watercolor to change its coloring so drastically, simply because of the coloring underneath. Oddly enough, I think it's because I have made my watercolor paint so thick. I've laid it on so thick that it has essentially been opaque. That, and I think the colors that I've put on top even when I wanted the underlying color to show through, it didn't show through because the color that I put on top was just too dark. It was too dark to let the lighter colors really bloom. And these dark lines that I have in here, I wanted them to be purple. What I really wanted to do is I wanted to put a nice purple outline on this and then put these in as purple, really dark purple, then have like the color bleed in from the edge. I might still try to do that, but I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead. Blend this hot pink out a little bit. Even though I really shouldn't do that since it's right next to what I just painted. I'm hoping that if I just keep the water low, it won't be a complete disaster. Anyway. Okay, now again, for better or for worse, and I hope I'm on camera. Thankfully, I'm able to sit up now instead of being in a half laying position. So sorry if I wasn't entirely on camera in those last videos. I did check them over and it wasn't great, but at least I was, in my opinion, on camera. I was on camera enough to the point where I'm definitely going to publish them. That, and I think what I said was so important that I don't want to not publish them, you know. Darn it, I'm getting dizzy again. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I love the color gradient that I'm getting with this one. The ombre effect, as they call it now. So even if I don't finish this picture on camera, on YouTube here, I do have an Instagram account, which I haven't been using at all, but I need to. And I need to start taking pictures of what I accomplish and actually put them on some sort of portfolio somewhere. And the only place where I have a portfolio, quote unquote, is I want to say DeviantArt, that was years ago, is Instagram now, and it's under Astrological Artist. I don't know if I put sevens around that Astrological Artist this time. I don't think I did. Anyway, I think that looks really good. That looks real pretty, and it's a good gradation between the hot pink and the, you know, this is like purple, and then hot pink purple, and then definitely hot pink. Yep, that's on camera. So, okay, now I'm gonna try, since I just painted that, I'm gonna paint this one like that. And I don't know what I'm gonna get. Okay. Essentially, it's that. So I'm still gonna paint it up, and then I'll add some hot pink around here. I got so much paint on my tray, I need to, instead of squeezing my water brush, I need to just go in for more paint. I always try to stretch the paint out because grabbing more paint is just a pain in the butt for me. Oh. You know, I do want to say here in relation to all the videos that I made, you know, with this artwork, talk about health and whatnot. What I found out is that one of the big reasons I want to open up the conversation about physical health and mental health too, but physical health mainly, because that's what's bothering me. Physical ailments is, and that's what I know the best. Physical ailments. Although I have known people who, I have had lots of people in my life who are mentally ill, so I'm more than happy to talk about that too. So, but what I personally know is physical ailments, and something that I learned that is very, very true. Um, one person's healing or cure is another person's poison. One person's salvation is another person's poison. And so, and that is why, one person's solution to a problem is what could ruin someone else. And that is why, there's lots of people still suffering in the line of health. And, just because one person says that it works great for them, that doesn't mean that it's, something, the exact same thing is going to work great for another person. And that's really the point that I'm trying to get across, that we all have very different bodies and we need to start admitting that. And while, you know, just like there are many different types of blood, you know, you can even narrow it down to just two parties, those who are allergic to penicillin and those who are not allergic to penicillin. And just because you have people like me who are severely allergic to penicillin, you shouldn't take that away for everyone, because my biological dad, far as I know he's my dad, biologically, he can take penicillin and it has cured him just magically overnight of, ear infections, strep throat, what have you. But if you give penicillin to me, I'll die from it. I swell up, and I'm not going to go into what else. I do get hives. I can talk about that, but it's bad. I'm also allergic to sulfa drugs. So, and I'm allergic to pot. I'm just a pile of allergies, and it's horrible. But despite that, there's lots of people who, you know, and rightfully so, they take pot because it relieves their pain. It takes it away, and it gives them an appetite when they wouldn't usually have an appetite. And in my personal experience, I don't believe at all, obviously, in the placebo effect, and I don't believe in it's all in your head, because back in the day when doctors, and anyone of authority wanted to say that you were lying and just trying to get out of, going to work, going to school, what have you, being a quote responsible adult, they would say, "Oh, it's the placebo effect. You weren't actually sick in the first place. It was all in your head, you know, hence the placebo effect is what they would call it." And so I still have a knee-jerk reaction to the term placebo effect because it used to be used as, you're not actually sick. It's all in your head, you know. And they were literally insulting you, calling you crazy, rather than admitting that you actually are physically ill, you know. And so I don't particularly like the very idea of the placebo effect, because it still essentially says that you're not physically ill, you were mentally ill, and the back of your brain was just throwing a tantrum, and you weren't wanting to be a responsible adult, and you weren't wanting to do what you were supposed to do in the first place, which was, who knows what, you know. But you weren't, doing what you're supposed to be doing and being, quote, a contributing member to society, unquote, which is absolutely insane, even saying something like that. But it's true about, you know, yesterday used to be the placebo effect. Now they're using the term, oh, you're just depressed, you're stressed, you're anxiety riddled. Since they can't say placebo anymore, they say, oh, it's stress, you're depressed, you're anxiety riddled. And instead of actually curing whatever physical ailment you have, they just throw some mental health medications at you and essentially write you off as someone who's mentally ill and not physically ill. And I really don't like that. I really don't like that. And the whole thing is that I'm not saying that there isn't merit to the placebo effect, because I did see that monk thing, and that there isn't merit to, mental illness there. I mean, I've known lots of people. I have mentally ill people in my own family. You know, my mom and dad are one of them. My sister ended up being very bad off, and my brother is pretty autistic. So, it doesn't, mental health is real. People are mentally ill. But, you know, when you've been through as much gaslighting as I have, you can't help but speak from a point of being gaslit and fighting for people's rights automatically. You know, people who are very physically ill and not mentally ill, you know. But unfortunately, the doctors and the hospitals aren't wanting to admit that for whatever reason, you know. Trying to make this more purple. I'm trying to, even though it's better to have this one be more pale because it'll stick out better, just trying to put the final touches on this and color with this last little bit in. Well, I certainly hope I get over this migraine. Whether I do another video from bed or not, I hope that I'll be over this mess that I'm in. But unfortunately, since I don't know the cause of it, I can't cure it at the moment, which is the sad and terrible thing. So, and yeah, I do have one more in the back here to do. I might actually just color that with this dark, really dark purple. You know, you can see that. Yeah, I might just color these last little petals with the really dark purple, just to have something really stick out. But for now, uh, wow, that was a 20-minute video. I managed to keep talking through it. I'm very proud. Usually if I talk about something, I consider that political, but usually if I talk about politics like that, I get really riled up. And it does allow me to speak when usually I wouldn't. So my throat is so dry now. I gotta quit. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sitting through these videos with me. And I hope to be able to post this final picture to Instagram at least. And bye for now.